Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's very special album choice. So we're going to be doing something different today for Christmas. It's a Christmas special. Brett has chosen three albums that he presumably likes. Maybe I don't know, but three albums that he wants us to listen to, or potentially listen to, and I will make the decision on which one of those three we listen to. I think Brett's going to give a bit of an explanation as to why he's come to this decision to choose those particular albums, but I don't think he's going to be giving too much away. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what choices he's made, and then obviously I will decide. So Brett, take it away.
Cool, yeah. So before I bring up the albums, I have to say, so when me and Lee decided this, we pretty much just said we picked three albums each. We didn't really go into too much how this should work. And actually, I actually struggled to sort of decide which three albums I was going to pick. So originally, I was just going to try and pick my top favourite three albums, but realised it was actually quite difficult to decide on that. And then I thought, okay, maybe I'll get a collection together and then maybe pick by random. I was going to maybe on this video actually pick them by random, decide on those three. Then decided against that and thinking, well, actually, could it be a good opportunity to maybe to listen to something that artists I might know already, but don't know enough about them, a good opportunity to get that involved. So a lot went through my mind, but I thought to give more maybe an idea of a little bit about me, these are sort of the albums I've got to. So just to be clear, as a little disclaimer, these are not necessarily my absolute favourite albums, but I will explain with regards to the choice. So hopefully we can see that okay. Does that come up all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So these are the three albums of choice. So from my left to right, first one there is Pet Shop Boys album called Actually. Now, this album is probably the first ever proper album I've ever really sort of had listened to, or definitely listened to where I could listen to it all the way through. Now, Lee probably's got a little smile on his face because he knows my little sort of love for the Pet Shop Boys. Why I've got that love for them, to this day, I don't know. My parents can't answer it, so I've just always been into their music. And wherever we used to go on holiday in the car, do long journeys, would always listen to their albums, this one especially. And one of the proudest, not proudest, that's the wrong word, one of the best Christmas goals when I got a tape Walkman. So I could actually listen to this and other Pet Shop Boys albums wherever I went. It was always my go-to album. Whatever thing, I would always listen. Now, is it my favourite Pet Shop Boys album of all of them? Hard to say. Like I said, but it's just got a lot of meaning for me there. So originally when we're going to do this, I thought maybe I could pick the Pet Shop Boys and do one of their newer, because they've got some new albums out, which I haven't listened to at all. Then I've gone for their Actually album, which is their second album they released back in 1986. And as I said, it's the first ever proper album I would ever really have known. Okay. And then the second one there, mid one, is the Killers album called Sam's Town. Now, I've always enjoyed music. I've always had an older taste of music. So in terms of actually, I'm not the type of person who would actually go and buy new CDs or new albums when they come out. I've always ever brought greatest hits albums or second-hand ones or ones that my dad's already had or from my own place. I was really clear with this. I didn't want to put on the choices greatest hits choices, because I didn't think that would be a fair sort of reflection there. So this is actually this is probably the first proper album that I brought, which was like new or within like sort of the first month of it being released. I haven't rarely done that for any other sort of albums. I normally wait to a later stage when it becomes a little bit cheaper. Not that I'm trying to put myself here as a bit of a cheapskate. Just find it hard when you think the same album in 5 years' time is like half the price. But with this album, so this is the Killers' second album. So I do own their first album, and I'll probably be honest, I probably do prefer the first album. But because of the first album, it made me want to get the second album because I knew a couple of songs that was going to be on there, and because the first album was so good, it made me, want to get this album straight away. So it's one of the only albums I've got where actually also there's no other like price drop stickers or it's been broken or scratches on it because it's been bought from eBay or from a charity shop. So I've actually still got it in quite pristine condition. So yeah, this is one of the first albums I ever bought, which was I bought it as new, if that makes sense. And then the last album, this is the Counting Crows Hard Candy. Now, this is actually an album I've not listened to at all. There's one song which I may class as probably one of my absolute favorite songs. And again, a bit of album, I find it very hard to pick what would be my absolute favorite song. And we would have like a top 5 or something. But I do have, if it ever gets asked what my answer would be, I'm not going to say what it is, but it does come on this album. And I was thinking, like, this is actually one of my favorite songs, but I know a couple of the other stuff, but I've never actually listened to the album where that song appears on. So I thought, whilst we're doing this, what great opportunity to actually use that to maybe potentially listen to this album. I have looked at the track listing, and there is another song on there which I recognise. But otherwise, I don't know any of the other songs. So potentially, I'm hoping that there could be a couple of other good songs on there if I've already got one of my absolute favourite songs of all time on there already. So that's my little sum up from there. I wasn't a bit too long-winded. I hope it sort of made sense. So I guess that's over to you, Lee, now in deciding which album you would like us to review.
So as soon as you put up, or as soon as you shared your screen, and I saw the 3 choices.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I made my decision within about 2 or 3 seconds. As soon as I saw it, I knew what I was going for.
Right. I can probably also imagine what there probably is as well. But
yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think it is?
Well, once I got this list together and I thought, put it up there, I went, I'm pretty sure. I think Lee is probably going to go down the middle and pick the Killers. But I could be totally wrong with that. So that would have been my prediction. And I haven't put it in there like that. So I'm hoping you will pick that. But once I got it together, I was thinking, I wonder what Lee would probably pick. I was thinking, I bet he might go down. Just to...
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It is the Killers. That's the album I'm going for. Sam's Town. Yeah, I've heard of the album as well. Haven't listened to it, I don't think. So why have I gone for the Killers? I really like the Killers in terms of their hits. As I say, I don't think I've listened to their albums before, so I don't know what their other stuff is like. But that makes me want to listen to their other stuff, if you see what I mean, because I know that I like their big hits. So yeah, for me the choice is an easy one. Definitely going to go for Sam's Town. I need to check out the song list on that album. Maybe I've listened to it, but I don't think I have. I don't remember listening to a Killers album, but definitely the name Sam's Town rings a bell for sure. Why didn't I go for the other 2? We'll start with Counting Crows. I've heard of them, and I'm sure I'll know some of their songs if I heard them. But no, the Killers is much more appealing to me. Pet Shop Boys, I know you're a big fan of them. I don't know, like for me, I know the song, is it Go West?
Yeah.
It's an all right song, but I don't know what, I don't really know much about Pet Shop Boys, but the voice is on Go West. Isn't it a bit kind of Go West? It just seems a bit weird. And I was like, is that what all their music's like? I don't know. If it is, I'm not sure I'm going to like it. What other big songs have the Pet Shop Boys got? Like big hits.
What the I know and like the ones that you. So the other big ones of theirs is West End Girls. It's a Sin. They do a cover version of Always on My Mind by Elvis, which was quite popular. It was a Christmas number one as well. Yeah, a lot of people know Pet Shop, and they do straight away. The first one to think of is the Go West song, which, funny enough, again, don't know if you know. So it's actually a cover. So it's actually originally done by the Village People.
Oh, was it?
And I actually quite like the Village People version of that. So to answer your question, no, not all of their stuff is like Go West. There is a bit of a variance to that there, but they probably don't mind that people, if people know them as doing the Go West song, that's fine. But it's not what they're all about. Yeah, not everyone's cup of tea in some ways, but like I said, they've got such a mass catalogue of songs. I'm always convinced that someone could probably find a song they might like of Pet Shop Boys, even if it took them all year to listen to find that particular one.
Okay, so yeah, again, when it comes to comparing them to the Killers, I would choose the Killers. Because like I said, I don't really know too much about the Pet Shop Boys, but I guess from a selfish point of view, I want to listen to something that I know I like, and it'd be interesting to find out how much I really do like them, if you see what I mean, by going into their kind of non-released songs. So yeah, final decision, B, the Killers. Is it the right answer?
Yeah, like that's what I thought you'd go for. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say it's not a selfish point, because then again, it's your choice, and that's the whole point of it. And yeah, like you, when I first heard the Killers, who, by the way, just interesting as well, main singer Brandon Flowers is actually a fan of the Pet Shop Boys. So just thought I'd throw that out there as well. He thinks they're quite influential in their music. So if you like the Killers, you technically in some ways could also like the Pet Shop Boys. But like you, when they first came out and had a couple of their big songs, loved them straight away. Loved those particular songs, which in turn then maybe to get their first album, which, like I said, really enjoyed. And as a result, purely on that, maybe then, as soon as I heard a couple of songs, which were going to be on this next album, thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to get in there straight away. I enjoyed what happened so much with the first album. Hopefully, fingers crossed, will happen again for the second album. Like I said, I won't say too much until we look to review it.
Okay, then. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We're going for the Killers, Sam's Town, and the review will be out next Sunday. And just to make it clear, Brett will also be reviewing this. It's not just for me to review on its own. We're going to be doing like we usually do, the same format. So yeah, see you guys on Sunday for the review. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.